Hello everyone, Maria Model Reviews here, and today we have what's starting to quickly become a standard here, and that's going to be a double unboxing. So I was actually going to only unbox this one here from the USA Gundam store last week, but I knew this one here was coming, which of course is from the Bandai, and I kind of wanted to wait for this one just because I'm not sure how excited people are for what I have in here. Of course, I'm excited for it, that's why I got it. But I just decided to hold off on a little bit just to bang these both out. So that was also kind of why I only had one review last week. So, or should I say video, I'm sorry. I'm gonna put this one to the side just to give me some room here. I did go check that out last. Of course, this is a P Bandai kit. I'm sure you guys are gonna be excited for it nonetheless. So we're gonna start off strong here. And we have what is going to be a aftermarket accessory for my Avis here. So this is going to be the Enchanted Shield of Virtue and the Gatling gun. Now, the Shield of Virtue comes with Unit 3. I'm going to assume this came out before Unit 3 was released. So I'm curious to see how this thing's going to look compared to the actual shield. But there thankfully is something cool about this kit here, which makes it differ from the shield I already have. And that is that these guys decided to color swap, or at least give you the option to color swap these things. So looking at the outside, it looks more or less like the shield I built with Unit 3. I'd have to check it out and see. So I'm not sure if this came out before or after geesh, on my brain farting here, Unit 3. I can't say the main reason why I got this though was because the Gatling gun. For those of you who haven't watched the movies, the Ava movies, Unit 1 had a Gatling gun he used against one of the Angels. So no kit for any of the Avas has had the Gatling gun so far. I think there might have been something. There might have been something that had a Gatling gun, but I don't remember it being a whatchamacallit. Yeah, I want to say it's bigger. I could be wrong now. So I usually would open the bag here, but usually I don't see the manual, the quote-unquote manual, in a bag here. I guess it's what's the instructions. So I'm gonna open this up just so I can take a peek in there. And again, I want to say this thing had to have came after Unit 3, because just looking at these parts and whatnot, this does look like they probably did some sort of recast of the shield that comes with Unit 3. So again, it looks very familiar. Also, no, that's not true. I've seen some of the decals. I just never put them on. So look at the instructions here, of course. It definitely looks very quick and easy, just like most of these are. Like the Gatling gun, piece that thing together in a few steps. And again, like I said, for me building the original shield I carry Unit 3, this thing definitely looks familiar in the construction. Even looks like this piece right here from the bottom portion of the shield there, or top portion I should say, could detach from that top port. So yeah, this definitely looks like they probably just recasted the shield that came with Unit 3 for Unit 0. Alright, so that's it for this. I'm going to throw these over here, cast these aside. Oh gee, this might be a pain to put that back in the box. I might have to set this camera down for a second to do that. Alright, so moving on along here. Next up, we have the Gym Custom. So for those of you who have been watching my channel, you know that I have the Gym Cannon, which is literally just the Gym Custom with some extra armor on it and some cannons. So I went ahead and got the Gym Custom there, kind of a bit on a whim. They had a $20 off coupon if you were to buy $100 worth of stuff. Honestly, all that really did is it covered me shipping and handling, but whatever. I did quite a few of the things I have in here, so this, of course, is going to be a pretty quick build. There's only about 4 runners in total, 3 bags. So this is something I'll be able to bang out in a flash if I ever decided to go ahead and build this, which it probably won't be soon, rather later. And then one thing I wanted to know is these are the older beam sabers, which are a lot smaller and thinner than the ones they use now. The ones they use now are a bit longer, but not quite master grade long. Which I don't mind. They actually look pretty good. Sorry if I'm talking over the ruffling. I keep forgetting to tell myself to stop doing that. I know some of you guys prefer for me to not talk while the sound is of the plastic is going on. So just gonna show some of the stats here real quick. Get a better look at the actual pictures here. Just giving you an example of some of the cool poses you can do. I'm sure the bottom of the feet there you'd have to paint. I doubt it comes colored like that. So this is just telling you some information about the gym custom here. I couldn't really tell you much about it. I just noticed it's supposed to be kind of a high performance gym that I'm pretty sure was built sometime after the 1 Year War. And then it's just telling you that this particular suit originated in the show, the AFMF, sorry, 0083, or OVA I should say. There's of course some other kits you could get from the line there. The Gym Cannon 2 came out after this, so that's why I don't have it pictured there. So again, this is just like I want to say this is an older high grade, probably before 2010. So I'm not expecting too much from this thing. We'll see if it is an overachiever or not, but judging by the fact that the Gym Cannon 2, I'm pretty sure short a lot of components from this thing, and that thing is pretty unremarkable. This thing probably isn't going to be very remarkable itself, but nonetheless, I wanted to put one in my collection anyway because 0083 is one of my favorite Gundam series. So naturally, I have a bit of a soft spot for everything in it, including the gym here, especially its pilot self-burning, which they showed an image of in there. Throw this here to the side. That's just sitting on the side of my table, so don't worry about that. So next up here, we get into the box, and we have the Ashimar. So this is a fan favorite first and foremost from the video game Gundam Evolution. I know a lot of people love this thing in here. I'm not gonna say what people call it. So as far as I can tell, this thing should be able to completely transform here. And this is actually a suit I really enjoyed from Zeta Gundam as well. I thought the Ashimar was pretty cool in Zeta Gundam, very formidable. So I'm not sure if this thing's gonna come with a action base or not. We're gonna find out very soon. Let's get this thing out of the box here. Getting straight in here. This thing indeed does have some stickers. Purple one, I think that might be for the gun. So clear parts there. Pretty sure you'd slap that sticker there over it. So assuming they tell you to put it behind it, it being a clear part would be a bit of a waste unless you want to paint it. So it has a strange orange looking color here. It's almost kind of like a school bus yellow, I'd say, more so than orange actually. Some purple parts. I'm not sure what the purple parts are for. I don't remember actually might have a purple parts. That's of course going to be more so for the rifle. Voila, it does come with an action base, so that's pretty cool. I have the God Plant high grade, of course. I don't remember that thing having. Oh wow, that's weird. The hands are purple. But yeah, I don't remember that thing coming with an action base. I could be wrong though. Also, I'm pretty sure the Ashimar came out before this thing, so. Titanium alloy. I'm surprised it was made out of Gundam. I recall this thing taking freaking blast to the chest in the show, so that is shocking to hear this thing isn't made out of Gundam. How much abuse this thing was taking. Unless it just has some sort of a beam-proof coating on. So of course just some more stats probably tell you about the weapons and all that. Again, all I can really tell you is this thing was a very durable Titans mobile suit. At least I'm pretty sure it's Titans. This thing said Earth Federation. They do that sometimes. They just call it Earth Federation, even though they seem to really kind of like the boast and brag that Titans are above them and all that. That's interesting. I can't tell if this thing's trying to tell you that you have to take it apart to do certain parts of transformation or what. That's what it's looking like. So if that's the case, if you do have to kind of parts from it a little bit, that'd be a little disappointing. Oh, speaking of the devil, maybe it did, because it shows a stand here. I couldn't review that thing, by the way. That thing is a broken mess, unfortunately. That's, like I said, a lot of those kits I had when I first started, with the God Plant being one of them, are just destroyed. And I unfortunately can't even review them. I'm even thinking about replacing some of them, because a lot of them are pretty cool kits. It's just, again, they're destroyed. So overall, again, this is a high grade. An earlier one at that, so there's going to be nothing really too remarkable about the construction. Probably anything remarkable about the kit itself, but I can't recall seeing a review of any of these kits here, so I'm of course curious enough to go ahead and pick them up and build them and see how they stack out myself. Hopefully be something worth keeping in my collection, not throwing it into a shoebox. Of course, it'll never be seen again. So that is it for the Ashimar here. And as you could probably tell, there's a bit of a trend from this unboxing so far. Yeah, most of these are going to be high grades. So I usually do this first, but this particular order here was packed by Jareth, who must do a lot of these things, because I am pretty sure I've gotten plenty of packages from Jareth. So of course, this is what's coming up next. We have a little LED upgrade for the God Gundam. I'm not gonna pick that up. I think the rings itself are fine, just as that Forbidden. I can already confirm I have that pre-ordered. I ended up passing on an Epion because I wrote it in Master Grade. Nothing I'm seeing from that. A real grade looks nearly as crazy as, let's say, the God Gundams was. The God Gundam I could not pass up on. That thing looked too amazing. Then we have a Metal Gear here. I do love the Metal Gear, so that's tempting. If I were to get any Metal Gear thing, though, I'd probably be the Gecko. Gecko's my favorite Metal Gear. Just a little thing I would throw in there if you guys are curious. So, as you see here, we have the Witcher Mercury action-based displays here. So, this is more so something I ended up only buying as a little bit of filler just so I could get that deal. In hindsight, I probably should have gotten something else. I just couldn't think of anything that was like $20 to get real quick. And I honestly kind of regret getting that, the more of those Witcher Mercury display bases, because the main reason why I got it is because I wanted to make sure I could display the area with another Witcher Mercury kit that has bits. And then in hindsight, I was like, wait, just one is kind of enough to display 2 kits with bits, but it's whatever. Now that I have a total of 3 now, I shouldn't ever need any of those ever, so it's whatever. I'll deal with it. So anyway, moving on, we have the high grade HyGOG here. So for those of you who don't know, I have the ZGOG E high grade, which I got relatively recently, I guess I'd say. And I kind of wanted to get the HyGOG here just because those things are kind of a bit of a set. And honestly, I wanted this one a bit more than the ZGOG E, if I'm completely honest. So I honestly almost didn't get this, because for those of you who've seen the review of that particular kit, I was a bit disappointed with it due to it having the wonky construction a lot of the amphibious high grade kits did back in the day. But hopefully I won't be disappointed with this one, because honestly, like I said, I really love the HyGOG. This is one I wanted probably just as long and bad as I did for the Ashimar there. So overall, we'll see how this one pans out. So moving on along into the instructions here. I'm just going to throw everything back into the box real quick. This way, as soon as I'm done with this, I can just throw the manual in there and get on to the next kit here to unbox. So of course, this is a Zeon amphibious suit. I just love how long this thing's arms are. So judging by just looking at this thing at the box, the arms are probably going to be as wonky as all the other amphibious kits, but hopefully the legs aren't. If at least the legs aren't as wonky, we might be all right here. And also something I didn't even realize, this thing seems to use that same backpack as a Zegok. I didn't realize that was the case. It's that one, the Zegok Ease is like detachable. Oh, that's what that is, like a searchlight, okay. Yeah, because it has a backpack too. That is so weird. They have these detachable backpacks they have on. I get the little torpedo tube thing, but I never got the backpack thing. What the purpose of the additional backpack was. So we just looked at the construction here. So the arm does look like it's a bit different than that weird wonky construction the typical amphibious suits had early on. It looks a bit similar to it, but different enough for hopefully it's not as bad, because with the way those amphibious kits were constructed around this time, they all were super loose. It took nothing to get them that loose. They end up having standing issues, and you couldn't really do anything with the arms. The arms are all loose and floppy. I can't tell from looking at the construction of the legs whether it's the same kind of construction as those, but I know this backpack is exactly the same as the Zegok Kings, even from the construction there. This thing is just a lot of stickers too, I also want to mention. So I think this is going over the construction, or I'm sorry, the transformation a little bit to like it could transform. So this thing is gonna be a bit of a part former to get the tubes on and all that, which that should be honestly a surprise. I doubt, especially with a high grade, they'd be able to have you lift those tubes on. So when I get to this thing, we shall see how it stacks up. Although I can already say I had a monster unboxing, which ironically is one of my most unpopular. I'm sorry, it was one of my most popular unboxings I ever did, and I had like freaking almost a dozen high grades in there, so I probably tackle a lot of those first before I even get to these, which I should be doing soon because I'm finally starting to knock out a lot of the master grades I have in record speed. So this is another one I was super excited for. I remember when this thing was first announced. I don't know why I didn't pick this thing up years ago, but that is the Hammurabi. I honestly was tempted to get 2 of these, if not 3. More so 2 because I'm holding out hopes that they do a full mechanics or something for this thing. The Hammurabi is awesome. This is probably my favorite Titan suit, next to Shirako and his little harem there. They had some cool suits too, but this thing 100% can transform without any part swapping, mainly because the Hammurabi's transformation is super stupid and lazy. It's just literally the legs flip behind his head. But I thought the Hammurabi was really cool. It really helped the fact that it was one of my favorite Gundam games of all time, the Dynasty Warriors Gundam games. I love the Hammurabi in that game. So this thing, of course, is a relatively newer kit. So the wings here are in this like navy blue, the signature color of the Titans. Whereas everything else is just more of like I guess you call this like an aqua. It's like a bit of a darker blue. So this thing has quite a bit of stickers. I'm sure these are all more so for the mono eyes. Yeah, this is definitely, I can see the little cutouts for them. And then some of the whites for some parts of the body and whatnot. So one of the coolest things about the Hammurabi is the Hammurabi has some crazy weapons. From the little tail spike that's capable of penetrating a mobile suit, literally, in every sense of the word. Which is really just suits Yaza, the wonky character, and all his innuendos he says. It has beam sabers, the little shock whip, the freaking, it's called that with the Fane rifle or something, which looks to be very simple in construction. This looks like just 2 pieces you slap together, and then you put, that looks like a little scope on it. Got a little part for that little movable flap. It's almost like a bazooka would have. And I'm not sure if this other black piece here is. I think that might be for the back of the rifle. When I say it had a bit of a tail-looking hook type thing for the back of the rifle. So the Hammurabi is just a standard size suit, but this thing's made of Gundarium. So it is so interesting when suits that aren't Gundams are made out of Gundarium, because it's almost kind of like a counter Gundam type suit, where it's kind of like them saying it doesn't need to be a Gundam to be as, you know, strong in every sense of the word. So, actually, let me pile this up on top of the other stuff there. So, one thing to, of course, note about the Hammurabi here, besides the fact that it has that strange transformation, that there's 3 of them, and they were able to launch some devastating attacks as a result of that. And it also doesn't help that its pilot was Yazan Gable, who was probably one of the best Titan pilots out there. So this thing is very formidable. And it's just showing that you have a little wire that you'd be able to attach this thing to pull out some of the little extended pulses from the little whip there, the shock whip, whatever you call that thing. And again, this is just, oh, that's another thing. See, this thing, that's another thing I love about the Humper. It's just armed to the tooth. I forgot I had a little claws that I could use as like, kind of like brass spiked knuckles type things. And again, the transformation is very lazy. You just whip the tail out, like I said, take the claws out, move them up, and then wrap the legs behind his head. It's just, it looks transformable until you really just kind of look at it at certain angles and think about it. It's like, wait a minute, this is the laziest transformation ever. But I think that was kind of the whole point of it. The Hump probably having a little super lazy type transformation, and that's where I can already see here. I forgot about that. It has beam guns over it too. Like this, like I said, this thing's just armed to the tooth. It's just weapons everywhere. Like that's one thing I loved about Zeta Gundam. Why it's probably everyone's favorite Gundam series. Just, it has so many exotic mobile suits that just stem from Tomino wanting to add a lot more exotic suits for Zeon towards the end of the show, but unfortunately their ratings weren't there and they couldn't pull that off. So I can already anticipate myself loving the heck out of this thing and probably again picking up a second one. Although honestly, with there being so many different Gundam lines, I'm tempted to not, just because they might make a, let's say a Tamashii Nation Hammurabi or some sort of just action figure. Really, I probably more so want to keep hope that something like that happens that way. Again, I can have 3 different versions of it. It'd be able to make me justify the Hammurabi a bit more that way. So I'm just trying to package this thing in there. I think I had this thing unpackaged in the side. That's good enough. So I like to kind of show everything off at the end. All right. So I'm actually gonna move this box out of the way. I'll still keep those things kind of in a frame right there, but I'm going to move this thing off the floor, put it up here, and then we're going to bang out our last kit here. Honestly, hoping to keep this thing under 15 minutes, but with how many things I unboxed here, it shouldn't be a surprise I got this long. So voila, we have Slager's GM from Mobile Gundam Kukuro Doan's Island. So this is one that I thought was super duper cool when I seen the movie. I did not expect 1, Slager to be in it, and 2, him to have his own custom gem. Because from what I've seen, Slager indeed did pilot Mobile Suit. He even said he did in the show, of course. He said he can do just about everything. He's Superman. But Slager's gem was typically supposed to have been a Gem 2. If you even note from the Gem 2's look, it has his colors and everything, which is blue. So I was surprised they gave him his own exclusive suit in the movie, which he shouldn't even been in, because Kukuru's Dawn was supposed to before they even met Slager. But that movie is super duper uncanon in my opinion. It was just a little fun little thing to do. So if you guys can make that out, these beam sabers, these are the modern ones I was talking about earlier. These are 2013, I believe. I can't quite see it for some reason. The light in here is weird. I can't get this thing to focus, but I'm pretty sure you guys can make it. That's 2013 there. I've got to actually look at the Hammurabi to see what year those ones were. I think those ones are the 2005 stuff. And there's some stickers in here behind the shield, so I can't quite get it in frame. That's the other thing. The shields that they used in the Kukuru's Dawn Island were so cool. I love these shields. These shields look so cool. They just look very, like, I guess you say, militaristic and practical. I also love this color scheme Slager has too. It's like this It's kind of the same type of color the Deactive Strike Freedom had. Or I should say, no phase shift armor Strike Freedom. Someone in my comments fondly noted that that thing is nuclear powered and cannot deactivate. But this thing also has some water slide decals, so I definitely will be using those. I'll see if I can put at least a few of those on when I review this thing. I don't know why, but for some reason water slides, I always get so lazy with them and I like never put those on. So I'm not sure if this thing reuses parts from any other kit. I know there's a gem cannon they have, which ironically I believe didn't even release yet. So maybe this thing reuses some parts from the Kukuru's Do and Arc 78 Gundam or the Origins Gundam from high grade form, but either way, the color separation here looks amazing. No, one thing that's not a surprise to me at all, they have these little lazy instruction manuals that serve the purpose of telling you how to build this thing and nothing more. There's just nothing stylized about this thing at all. It's just black and white, and it gets straight to the point, not even a colored image anywhere. This leaves a lot to be desired. They at least made this one a bit better by saying body, you know, telling you what you're building and all that. They still do have everything mapped out in English. It's just, again, they just leave something to be desired, in my opinion. So, of course, this is going to be a brand new high grade. This is the first run of this kit, so this I'm expecting a lot from. I can give everything else I have a pass, but aside from the Hamburg, I'm not expecting anything much from those. This one I'm expecting a lot from, though. So, of course, just one beam saber you'll be able to put on a rack there, although it looks like it came with 2 beams. Which isn't bad, you know. Never complain about extra parts, especially beams. You always end up needing it for something. You never know when Bandai's going to skimp out on beam sabers, especially. Which always kills me that they do. Some kits don't have enough beam sabers, some have too many. So this thing's going to have a bit of an inner frame, as again, these are like some of the newer kits, newer high grades especially are very good. It's just one of the main reasons why they're the most popular line out of all the model kits Bandai has. And why master grades are starting to fall on the wayside. Everything is getting so good, it's almost hard to justify them anymore. They're just bigger, really. So again, just everything you expect from a lot of newer kits, parts for the action base and all that. The steps aren't too short, aren't too detailed, it's just right. Get this thing banged out pretty quick, but you still have something top notch. You can even see that this thing has still mechanic to fold it out and put it on the back of the armor there. And that beam spray gun looks amazing, by the way. And then again, you have this shield here, which just looks incredible. I just love the way that shield looks so much. So I'm already working on another kit right now. I'm master grade at that, so that thing's gonna take me a bit of time to build, but I probably will get on and build this thing as soon as I am done with that. If you guys were curious, I actually built both of the Witch of Mercury kits from a previous unboxing. I forget if it was the last unboxing I did or one before. I couldn't wait on those things. Unfortunately, no one cared enough to respond and say which ones they wanted to see me build first. So I took matters in my own hands. But again, once I go ahead and finish, I can honestly just go ahead and say it, the Zeta Verka, I'll probably go ahead and bang this thing out. This thing won't take me but a day. But honestly, that's it. That is all my kits here I have to unbox. So I'm of course gonna leave this thing out in the same note I do all the time. Like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know if there's any of these things that you want to see me build and post haste. As I said, after I finish this Zeta, I'll probably go ahead and build this guy, and then I'm a free agent at that point. You guys have the ability to dictate what I built next. So if there's anything here you wanted to see a review of, I can't review it if I don't build it, so let me know, and I'll get right on that. So thank you guys so much for watching, and tune in for the next review.